Did you guys know that there's ants in your brain? So they develop from when you're a child, when you're a young kid, and they grow and expand and they start impacting all of the different functions of your brain, like your thought patterns, your emotion regulation, your dreams, the relationships you have with other people, the way you form memories. They start to kind of crawl into the different spaces of your mind and and of your brain. Now that I've sufficiently freaked you the hell out, I should probably also say that these aren't real ants. They're not real critters. ANTS is an acronym for automatic negative thoughts. And hopefully you didn't leave this video after being like, what the hell is she talking about? And why is she saying this? For those of you who don't know me, my name is Bianca. I'm a licensed mental health counselor who specializes in cognitive behavioral therapy. I'm also the co-host and the co-founder of Evolve Ventures Technologies, the podcast and the business. Automatic negative thoughts, yes, they're not actual little critters, but they are critter-like in the sense that they are in all of the aspects of our brain. They impact, it's like you don't see them, you don't really know they're there unless you're looking for them. But they have a huge impact if they're left unattended and if you don't notice them, kind of like ants in your house. You don't know that they're there until you start seeing them literally everywhere and they're gross, and then you have to get a bug bomber, and that is where I lose all of my marbles because I don't like critters. But in CBT, in cognitive behavioral therapy, automatic negative thoughts are the really intrusive thoughts that you end up feeling. Have you guys ever seen those videos on TikTok where it's like my intrusive thoughts one, and the person like runs up and does something that they're not supposed to do, or I don't know, whatever. But the negative thoughts that we have, they also come up at the freaking worst times possible, like at night when you're doom scrolling and every single negative thought that you've ever had just pops into your mind. And you're like, oh my God, why am I feeling like this right now? Why is this happening? Why do I feel so sad? Automatic negative thoughts are actually a really common and normal part of our life. But the challenge is, for the grand majority of us, we don't realize they're there. We don't know that they're there. We don't know why they're there. And because we have no sense of control over them, they might cause us to act impulsively, to have really disruptive emotions and emotional patterns, and they might make us feel really stuck and really helpless. And so my intention for this video is to help all of you have a really simple tool in a simple format to be able to observe your negative thoughts, where they're coming from, why, and then to be able to do something about it. So in CBT and cognitive behavioral therapy, I'm not going to dive super deep into it, but automatic negative thoughts come from something called core beliefs. Our core beliefs are the notions and the ideas that we have about ourselves, about the world, and about other people. So think of it like sunglasses, like a lens, and you see the entire world through this lens. You see yourself, you see the world, and you see other people. Now, any information that comes in is going to go through that lens. And what ends up happening is, because most of us don't even know we're wearing the sunglasses, we don't really notice the lens that's there because we've never really thought about it, or we never knew that this was actually just a thing that occurred. It just rolls in the background without our permission, number one, and without us even noticing. And this is why they wreak havoc, because we don't know that they're there, and so they're just doing whatever they want, and then we feel like we're held hostage by them. It's like we can't function. We're at the mercy of them. It's why most people have a really hard time letting themselves sit alone, being by themselves, not constantly um, engaging in activities that are going to distract them because those thoughts pop up. And I've definitely been there too. When it's nighttime and I'm here by myself and my computer is shut, I don't want to listen to the thoughts that are going on in my head because a lot of the times they're really uncontrollable. They can get real dark real fast, and we feel like we can't control them. So, what CBT tries to teach people to do is number one, be able to navigate these thoughts and to help you feel a sense of control over them. And then number two, actually understanding, okay, what are the beliefs? What are the rules? What are the assumptions? What are all of those things, that lens, that sunglasses lens, that are actually making those thoughts come up? And so, what we're going to do today is we're just going to do that first portion of it, which is helping you to be able to understand and track these thoughts. So, what I'm going to suggest everybody to do, if you don't do this now, you can do this later. This is what I do with all of my clients when we're learning how to do this, is something called an automatic thought record. You don't got to be super fancy with it. Honestly, most of my clients, they don't do it in the way that I'm going to explain it. They'll just list it out, but I'm going to give you guys basically the CBT standard form, and then you can kind of do it on your own. So what I'm going to suggest is that you take a sheet of paper and you put 4 lines. On the first column, it's going to say situation or event. The second one is going to say emotion. The third one is going to say thought. And then the last one will say behavior or outcome. So there should be 4 columns: situation, emotion, thought, outcome. Automatic negative thoughts are usually triggered by an external circumstance, whether it's something that happened, something that you're thinking about, a memory that came up, a something you watched on TV, an argument you just had with your partner, whatever. Most of us can usually ping that. Not really. Like sometimes it's really hard to understand what just happened, but more often than not, we can usually point to like something just happened. Ooh, now I'm feeling some type of way, which is why you want to put emotion second. Most of us know when we have a shift in our emotions. We might not always know why. Like I said, we might not always know the event, but we know that something just happened that is triggering the way that we're feeling, and that we had a shift in the way that we feel. That's usually an indicator that an automatic thought just popped up, that you're having these negative, intrusive thoughts. So, what you want to do is to understand what just happened, what's the situation that I'm in, lay the groundwork. What time is it? What am I doing? Am I around anybody? Was I just involved in anything? Was I thinking about something? Was I ruminating? Did a specific memory pop up? Whatever. Then in the next column, what you want to do is you want to write, what are the feelings and the emotions that I just had? So did you get tightness in the chest? Was it a physiological expression? Is your fingers tingling? Are your ears now hot? Is your face now hot? Do you feel pressure? So like I know right now I'm feeling pressure right here. What are the feelings that you're having? Are you nervous? Are you anxious? Are you scared? Are you frustrated? Are you angry? Are you happy? What are the feelings physically and emotionally that you're noticing that you're having? The next thing is the thought. So the question to ask yourself is, what just went through my head? This is really tricky for a lot of people because, again, we either know what we were thinking about, but we don't know why it triggered us the way that we did, which means that an intrusive thought happened that we didn't notice. Or we have no idea what we're thinking. We just know that something happened and now I feel some type of way. So, what was I just thinking about? Or what just went through my head? What just happened? It usually takes a couple of minutes. It usually takes a few minutes of reflection to really sit there and reflect, what just happened? What was I going through? Okay, this situation happened. I'm feeling this way. What was the thought that I just had? More often than not, you can actually point to something. More often than not, you can actually, you'll be able to realize it. It might have been a memory that popped up, and that memory triggered a thought of, oh my God, I am such a loser. Oh my God, I feel so lonely. Oh, this happened. Oh, that happened, whatever. And then the last thing is behavior. What did you do as a result of that? What did you notice that you just did? Did you go to grab your phone? Did you feel the need to escape? Did you go get a drink? Did you feel like you needed to call somebody? Did you get up? Did you lash out? What is it that you did? If you can learn how to master an automatic thought record, you'll be able to understand why you think the way that you do. So, why those negative, intrusive thoughts might be popping up, the emotions that they generate, the situations that trigger them, and then you can feel a sense of control over your behavior. This is what I've done for myself. I do this every single day. Anytime I notice a thought popping up, or anytime I notice a really visceral shift in how I feel, I'm like, something just happened in my mind. I just had a thought, something just came up. I need to track this down. Over time, you'll actually be able to get really good at understanding what the intrusive thoughts were, what those negative automatic thoughts were, or the automatic negative thoughts, the ants were, and the impact that they're having. The reason most of us feel out of control in our life is because these thoughts are just controlling us. These thoughts are happening. We're having these visceral emotional reactions that we don't feel like we can control. And then we're behaving and we're acting on them without any sense of certainty. And then we're like, what the hell did I just do? Why did I just do that? Nothing happened. I'll give a good example for this, and this is the example that I'll usually give with clients. Imagine that you're in the mall and you're walking past and you're walking and you see a friend of yours across the way, and you yell their name and you wave at them, and they completely don't say anything. They just ignore you. And you notice this gross feeling in your gut. If that was your reaction, it's probably because you had an automatic negative thought. They're ignoring me. They saw me and they intentionally dodged me. Oh my God, are they mad at me? Did something happen? Blah, 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 blah. Then what do you do as a result of that? You might get mad. You might sulk. You might leave the mall. You might call them and be like, what the hell? Why did you just ignore me? That's all based on, the core beliefs and whatever that I'll make another video of in the future. But these automatic negative thoughts play a massive role in the way that we show up in our lives and in the actions and the feelings that we have. Again, a lot of us have no idea when they happen. We have no control over it, and we don't realize the impact that it's having on our life. And for a lot of us, these come up the most when we're alone at night because there's no distractions, or when we're engaging in activities that require our attention to be elsewhere, and they just start popping up, popping up, popping up. So the better you can get at understanding these, the better you'll be able to have a sense of control over your life, to be able to feel confident in what you're thinking, confident in what you're feeling, and confident in your outcomes and your behaviors. Me getting really good at this is one of the biggest reasons why I've been able to transform my life the way that I have been, from a really sad, broken little girl to an entrepreneur, to somebody who sees 45 plus clients per week and who has been able to really transform my life and, have evolved and have the podcast, to do these videos, to do all of these things, because I recognized the tricks that my mind was playing on me, the thoughts that I was thinking, the feelings that they were generating, and then making better decisions because I felt more in control. This is easier said than done. If and again, a lot of people, if you don't want to make the columns, that's fine. Just write them out line by line. That's how I like to do it. But I've had clients do this and they said, I never realized how bad my thinking actually was. I never realized how much of an impact that this was having and why I was doing a lot of the things that I was doing. So if this is you, if you're like, oh my God, I think that this is something that I really need to work on, this video is a really good start. And if you want more guided tools, tips, suggestions, please, please, please reach out. You can DM me, Evolve with Bianca on Instagram, TikTok. You can send me a message through the Evolve portals. So evolveventurestech.com, we can work together one-on-one. And we have like articles and other videos within the Evolve Ventures community that you can utilize as resources. So if this is you, if you know that you're having these really intrusive thoughts and you want to be able to get better control of them, please reach out. I cannot wait to hear from you. And I can't wait to see the way that you can evolve and that you can make transformation in your life by getting a hold of these things.